Hey guys, so the question is, what do we do when challenges, pain, sorrow, and sadness happen in our life and we can't understand why it's happening? I don't know about you, but for me, when the challenges, pain, sorrow, and sadness happen and I can see the purpose, I can see the good come out of it, I can see the pain being leveraged to inspire somebody else, to give glory to God, to make me stronger, make my kids stronger. Okay, maybe that can help pull me through. I can hold on to the understanding. I can hold on to that perspective of purpose to take me through the pain. And that's kind of my deliverance. But what happens when the challenges, the pain, the sorrow, and the sadness come and we just can't wrap our heads around it? We just can't understand it. It's kind of beyond us. For me, at least, that becomes very frustrating. I don't have that thing to hold on to, that understanding, that purpose, that, okay, fine, there is pain, but at least there's some good too. I don't have the good, I don't feel, to hold on to. So I've been going to FCA this week, 2 different ones in schools, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and I'm taking one of Lucy's favorite toys, not one of my favorite toys of hers, but because, I don't know if you can hear it, it makes this annoying sound. But now that she's gone, I wish she was here to play with it and make that sound. But I took that because I said, guys, listen, in life, not only are you going to have pain come your way, not only are there going to be challenges, pain, sorrow, and sadness, but there's going to be experiences, situations, and moments where you have challenges, pain, sorrow, and sadness, and you can't wrap your head around why it's happened. You can't see the good coming out of it. You can't say, okay, listen, at least my dog died, and this is very painful too. Don't get me wrong, guys who've had this experience. At least, she had a great long life. Our dog died at 2 years old, or at least with my girls who have genetic conditions, God has taken them through each season of pain and challenge. And when we've been able to share that with other people on Facebook and social media and just through emails and personal conversations, and that's been able to inspire a lot of people, point people to God, encourage people through their pain and their challenges many, many times over. Okay, God, if you gave us Savannah and Tallulah and our whole family to go through some challenges with them so others could be inspired, so others could be pointed towards God or whatever it might be. That's cool. Use our lives, even through the challenges, the pain, the sorrow, and the sadness. But just this morning, Yinling and I wake up and I tell Yinling, I had a dream about Lucy, our dog, who died at 2 years, 3.5 months, a week and a half ago. So I had a dream, my first dream about her. And I was just feeding her and I saw her there, and so cute. And we started looking through pictures of her again, as we've been doing, many days, and started getting the tears. And I said, Yinling, why is this tougher for me than even dealing with Savannah and Tallulah's medical challenges? You would think, they're my own flesh and blood children. You would think that would be tougher. And I just thought about it for a second. I felt like God told me, he said, because with Savannah and Tallulah, you can at least hold on to seeing some good come out of their pain, seeing some good come out of your pain, watching them be in pain. You can see people be inspired. You can see people be pointed to God, pointed to him. But at this point, Billy, you have been unable to wrap your head around, to wrap your brain around, to wrap your logical functioning mind around what could possibly be the reason and the point for this little 2-year-old dog who we got to really bring joy to these girls and their oldest sister, Annabelle, who've gone through all these challenges, bring joy to them, who's brought joy to all of us, this short life. And what? She has a rare genetic condition too? That just seems crazy. It doesn't seem to make any sense. God, I don't see people being significantly inspired or encouraged or pointed to you because of, her little life, at least not in large amounts. What could possibly be the reason for this? And then God says to me, and I shared this with the students in FCA. He said to me, listen, if you're only going to trust me in the good times, then you're really only trusting in the good times. And then there's the next stage. If you're only going to trust me in the good and the bad times, but only the bad times when you can understand it, Billy, then you're only trusting either in the good times or in your understanding, in your ability to see the why, to see the good, to essentially not see the future, but to be able to see the result and the outcome. If you can't wait for the result and the outcome, if you can't trust me for the result and the outcome, and by the way, not that God caused Lucy to die or the medical challenge, because I don't believe that. I believe sin and death and a fallen, imperfect world caused that, but I believe he works everything for good. And so where I go, I just can't see this, God. I don't see you working this for good. And by the way, I do trust him. And I believe he will bring some good out of this somehow. But right now, it's hard for me to walk through because I can't wrap my head around it. So I want to bring it to a verse in closing. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 26 through 29. It says, remember, dear brothers and sisters, that few of you, okay, he's talking to the leaders of the church, the early leaders of the church. Few of you were wise in the world's eyes or powerful or wealthy when God first called you. When you were first called, you were just fishermen. When you were first called, you were just fill in the blank, but nobody else thought that you would be somebody to lead a revolution, to build a new faith. Instead, God chose things the world considered foolish, or people the world considered foolish, in order to shame those who think they're wise. And he chose those things that are powerless to shame those who are powerful. This is beautiful. God chose things despised by the world, things counted as nothing at all, and used them to bring to nothing what the world considers important. As a result, no one could ever boast in the presence of God. This is so powerful. He used the foolish to shame the wise. He used the powerless to shame the powerful. And he chose the things despised by the world, things counted as nothing, the things looked down on. The people in our culture that you would think about, look at, and maybe subconsciously, maybe not knowingly, or maybe you wouldn't do it, but maybe I would do it, or maybe other people would do it and would say, they're not going to be a leader. They're not worth much. They don't bring a lot to the table. I don't have high expectations for them. He used those people to bring to nothing what the world considers important, to bring to nothing what the world holds high, to bring it low. And why did God have to do that? God had to shame the wise, shame the powerful, bring to nothing what the world held high. In the same way, when the people were building the Tower of Babel, they came to all together speaking the same language, and they said, we can build a great monument. We can get to heaven on our own. We can make it and connect with God on our own, and that will make us God. And God had to bring down the ego. He had to essentially destroy the false self, the self telling itself, I'm smart enough, I'm strong enough, and I know everything to accomplish everything. I'm going to depend on me for them to ever find out the truth. And what I said to the students at FCA, what I'll say to you, what God's been saying to me is this. You've got to trust me in the good times. You've got to trust me in the bad times when you can wrap your head around it and see the purpose and really leverage it for good. But you've also got to trust me when it hurts, when it's painful, challenging, sorrowful, and sad. When you just can't wrap your head around it. When you just can't understand. When you're feeling completely foolish, completely powerless, and you feel the lowest of the low because how could this happen? Why would this happen? Please, God, explain. And he goes, this is not the moment to explain. Even though I'm hurting with you, I'm not a mean God. I'm a loving God. But this is not the moment to explain. This is the moment to grow your trust. Because even though I didn't cause it, through this, if nothing else, I might not increase your understanding, but I'll increase your faith in me. So when the times get even tougher, and when there is a crucial moment for you to decide, are you going to trust me or not? You'll choose to trust me whether you understand or not. And that will inspire so many, encourage so many, and point so many to God. And I will use your life in greater and greater ways if you'll trust me in the good, in the bad when you understand, and even in the bad when you can't. Because his ways are so much higher. Thanks, guys.